What's up guys, it's McNulty here, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well, and it is literally 8:09, 8:10 in the morning, and I've just woken up and I've seen this weird looking critter in the Dynasty of Dunes. I really wasn't expecting this, but we have got a costume for one of the most popular heroes upon release, which is Bastet, of course. She's a legend among the Dunes family. I can safely say that. So we've got to have a look at her. I mean, I've got to see what they've done with her costume and whether she is worth pulling for. So let's get into the portal. This will be my first time of looking, so forgive me if it's a bit rusty. I can see she is featured alongside some pretty awesome heroes and a costume for Aquila. That is nice. Honestly, I like the 3 and 4 star costumes that are coming out of season 5. So let's have a little look at Bastet, the little kitty, Hello Kitty looking person from season 5. So first of all, she is obviously a dark hero. She is of the druid class in this version. Now, she was a ranger. So that's a bit of a changeover. I'm not a huge fan of that, unfortunately, because the druid class is just little minions, where the ranger class at least gives her the chance to bypass when she attacks. The moon family bonus, obviously, it's going to stay the same. It's 1 or 2 heroes, 50 or 75% chance to give that negative 24% defense, which we like, and also that 196 water damage when they get damage done to them by special skills. So that is pretty cool, that she can just reflect damage back. And then the single passive that she used to have, 50% chance to give an extra 70% damage to all enemies. So that added on top of her special was at 220% damage, giving her a nearly 300% damage hit 50% of the time, which is good. And then that added dispel of the latest dispellable buff from all enemies, which is just awesome. I mean, like I say, this hero was just a complete package. She did get outdated in terms of stats, but we're going to rectify that today. We're going to rectify that. So let's have a look at the costume bonuses they've done. So 17 attack and defense, 26% on health, and 5% on mana. They did go over these bonuses in the recent balance update, so I did do a video on that and how I think that they are actually keeping up quite nicely with the power creep. So I'm pretty happy about the bonuses, the stat bonuses that are coming out of these heroes. If we switch off the max power, we should be able to see that translated. Yeah, so 1018 power, I mean, not the highest in the game, but also relatively good and strong. So 925 attack, just over 1000 defense, and 1951 on the health. So as I've said, with the power creep for these guys and making sure they stay relevant, I do like it where they increase the defensive stat rather than the attack stat, because it sort of basically just keeps them a bit more relevant for a bit longer. So 1023 is really good. And also we are seeing power creep sort of slow down a bit in the game at the moment, which is really refreshing. And I really do hope that they continue that. So anyway, let's go over to what she's doing as far as passives. So we've got the same 50% chance to give 70% damage to all enemies. Same dispel of the latest dispellable buffs. But then, and this is where things get interesting, we have the 3 times passive. So when this character casts their special skill, any of the passive skills that grant extra effects have 3 chances to activate. So you can guarantee this extra damage is going to go off. It may even go off more than once. I mean, that is just an insane passive. I love it. And it does get added to both the costume and the original version. This character will also gain this passive where they gain 5% mana when they receive a status ailment or a negative stack. I mean, it's not ideal because it's working off of them getting a negative stack or a negative ailment. But it's still really, really good because it will keep her going off faster, and she's already at fast speed. So anyways, I love this little kitty, man. The art on the costume, also, I think it's one where they've done a little bit of work on this. So you can see they've sort of transferred her little like light bulb thing on her head onto her staff. They've given her a bit of like an old school Julius Caesar type toga. And they've kind of done a bit of nice work on this. Not a huge change, but you know, I'd like to see some more innovative costumes and a bit more innovative art. I know a lot of us would, but I think that, you know, SG is starting to listen a bit. Maybe I'm completely out left field. Maybe it's just because I want to be positive, but I do like the art on this costume. Enough said. Now moving over to the special skill, I'm expecting this to be very, very similar. So it was 220% damage to all enemies, and all allies get that nice 45% chance to dodge special skills for the following 3 turns. Each dodge will give 5% defense and a stack up to a max of 10. A lot of people forgot about that stack in the old version, and that's what makes Bastet such a great flank on defense, is that stack just builds up and the defense builds up over time. Now in the new costume that we've got, it's called Orchids and Roses, and she deals 210% damage to all enemies, so 10% less damage, but all allies still get that 45% chance to dodge special skills for 3 turns. Just on that first point with the 210 damage, remember that she is guaranteed that passive, and she gets that 3 times chance for extra passives, so she could be doing a lot more damage than that. Now each dodge now gives extra 10% defense, up to a stack of a maximum of 10 stacks on that. So you want her to be firing off as quickly as possible, racking up those defensive stacks, and it's 10% defense for each stack. So that's just going to build up one on top of another on top of another, and you can get it all the way up to 100% extra defense. Granted, that's probably never going to happen, but it is nice that it's 10% stack now rather than a 5% stack. So do I like this costume? Heck yeah, I think she's a great hero. I don't have her actually, but I do have a hero which is sort of similar, and I use her every single day. Where is she now? My girl Constance. She's absolutely insane. So yeah, I think Bastet is definitely going to be a great addition to the June's heroes. So good luck if you are going to be pulling for Bastet in this portal. With that said, actually, let's have a quick look at Aquila just while I've got her here. She's just popped up on the screen in front of me. So Aquila, again, another dodge hero. We won't spend too long on her, but I can see she's getting that 3 times passive as well, which is insane. So her special skill, let's just jump right into that. So 155% damage to the target and nearby. And then the caster and nearby would get that 45% chance to dodge. Each dodge gives that 5% defense. So she's like a mini version of Bastet, but the damage is just to the target nearby, and the dodge is just to the caster and nearby, which is okay because she is a 3-star. So I see now they've done pretty much exactly the same thing, which means that it's good that they've released them in the same portal. And then, yeah, so she's dealing that same damage to the target nearby. Granted, it's a little bit less, but her defense stack that she puts up after each dodge has been increased to 10% as well. I mean, for a 3-star, that's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, tell me if you don't think so, but I think this chick is going to be insane if you do manage to grab her costume. Plus that 3 times passive is awesome. Anyways, I feel like I've said enough on these heroes. Please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about Bastet. Just before we complete, I realized I've missed out the special skill. She's now switched over to special armor rather than the Fiend Resist. I think that's a good change as well, because the special armor gives her extra 40% defense against special skills for 6 turns, and you want her firing off as long as possible. You want her surviving as long as possible. Like I said before, she's really well suited to the flank position. So that's where I would put her if you do manage to snag her. So let me know in the comments what you guys think of the new costume for Bastet. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with your mother, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.